It's definitely super important to promote yourself. People need to know you have a product to offer. I feel like prior to Reels and all that, when I had a lot of artists playing my music, the more I posted that, the more gigs I saw internationally because I would get on their bookers' minds like, oh, who's this up and comer? But there's a humble way to do it, and you mix everything. One time it's that. One time it's me in the studio. Look at the track I'm making. One time it's at a show. One time it's at my opening. One time it's
Yeah.
at a closing.
All right. So today's topic, it is how to overcome the burden and fear of promoting yourself as an aspiring artist, musician, DJ, promoter, whatever the hell it is you're promoting for yourself in this industry. Before I kick things off, I'm going to pass it over to Atrox, Gino here. Let's just talk about the stubborn people first. Before we jump into the whole thing, let's just talk about the stubborn people that are just like, oh, shut the fuck up.
So I have some people that I know that really don't want to, I guess, accept the fact that social media plays such a massive role in our career. And they just refuse. They just want to make music and nothing else. And what you really have to understand is every decade, as time goes on, there's going to be different methods. We're not promoting our music the same way we did in 1955. So you really just got to let go of that stubbornness and you have to roll with the punches. I don't like TikTok. I'm aware that it's going to be very, very important for me in 5 to 10 years from now, 5 years, who knows? So as much as I am still feeling that dinosaur in me that says I want to stick to Instagram, I know I gotta give it some attention, and that'll be different in 5 to 10 years. But we have to roll with the punches. If not, you're only being your own worst enemy, and you're being stubborn, and you're gonna go not very far like that.
Yeah, for sure. And hey, you jumped into social media right away. Although the topic is self-promotion, and yes, social media is the winning platform where you can literally promote yourself for free every day, as long as you're able to build followers, have good content out. But the main thing here is self-promotion, right? And people don't even like that in general. Like, it's not TikTok, it's not social media. I mean, look, if today it's like, hey, you write on this piece of hat, and this piece of hat is where everyone from the industry is consuming content, this is the platform that we're going to be on. So it's not so much the platform, because the platform, everyone's going to complain. People complain when Facebook was big. People complain when Instagram got its rise. Now, once again, people are complaining when TikTok, and it's going to be the next thing. Like, people are never going to stop complaining about the platform, but it's mainly getting them to overcome that burden. Yeah, I guess the burden and the fear of self-promotion, right? As we know, most artists, they just want to write their music and like have someone else or some other platform, PR, their managers or whatever, just handle the whole thing because I just want to be an artist. That is the burden, okay? That is the number one aspect of it. It's the burden. They don't want to do it. They don't see the value of it. It's not their goal and stuff. But I want to ask you, Gino, are those people that are complaining, are they aspiring artists themselves? Do they want to tour and release music and have
some of them are, and some of them are touring that I know of. But they just fight. They're touring. They're doing well. Their career is building, but they're fighting it every inch of the way.
Yeah, because they're like, well, I'm already touring now. I don't need that. I don't need this thing to help me tour right now. And then what happens like 7-8 years down the line?
Well, that's just it. I notice this problem more in people in the later age. I don't notice this, for example, in my students that are in their 20s. I notice this more in DJs who've been around for a decade or longer, 15 years or longer, that really don't want to have to deal with the whole social media thing. But the dream of just being an artist is, in my opinion, is over. And you really have to learn to adapt. Which comes down to me is how badly do you want it?
Right. How bad do you want to get over that burden, get over yourself, right? But then the pushback is, well, that's business techno, that's techno TikTok, that's this and that. And, they justify their reasoning as to why they don't want to do it or why they shouldn't do it or why everyone else should stop doing it, even though it's bringing the results for other groups, other artists, other collectives. I don't know. Kevin, let me ask you, since you are an aspiring artist, a new one as well, that just got your own release, how do you feel about promoting yourself? I mean, you still got to do it. Like, what is your take?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head, man. I just, it's especially not to get too cultural, I guess, but,
we get cultural. We're Asian, so we're shy.
Yeah, exactly. Asian culture, you're not supposed to brag. You're not supposed to put yourself out there that much. So it's kind of a weird thing now that it might, it's like, hey guys, I'm making a new track and blah, blah, blah. And then you kind of have to tell yourself out there. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just kind of like a different thing. and it's something that I do have to overcome. And yeah, I'm actually one of those guys who are not necessarily resistant, but it's just, this is a new territory for me. And it's just like, I need to learn how to do it. And I think it just sounds like with the stage that Gino is in, like he recognizes that maybe it's not the thing that he wants to do 100% of the time, but it's something that he needs to do. I'm exactly the same way. Like I really don't want to do TikTok, but at the same time, it's like, well, that's where everything is. And not only that, you have to grow your audience and all that good stuff. Like if you want to keep making music, that's part of the game now.
Well,
right?
I mean, no, if you want to keep making music and then hopefully turn this into a career, into something where people, strangers pay for your music, pay for your shows. I mean, how are they?
Look, I want to point out on something. If they want it to be a career, treat it like a career.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Or else don't call it a career. Don't say this is my career, because it's not. If you want to just produce music and see where it goes, that's not a career. You want to make it a career, like people have careers in life and other topics and other things, then treat it as a career.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but you have to, every company out there promotes itself. You want to call it business, techno, sure. But I don't care what you call it. It's my career. I'm going to treat it as a career.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a catch-22 because I understand where you're coming from, Kevin. And it's not, I wouldn't say it's a cultural thing. I think those who have a humble chromosome in them, right? They battle with that. They're like, well, I don't really want to boast too much and stuff. But, I mentioned in Phase 2 Artist Map in the beginning, if you don't do it for yourself, who's going to do it for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And so it's the burden. That's the burden and fear, is that what would people think? Oh, man, I'm becoming too self-absorbed. I think as long as you're self-aware of that and that your approach to the platform, I can't imagine you, Kevin, nor you, Gino, or even myself doing any of those TikTok dances and stuff. Right. But there is a different approach to that platform. Not everything has to be self-image dancing and stuff. Find your content angle that matches your brand and your vision, and stick to it consistently. And one tip that I'll just give to all the people that are just like rolling their eyes on this episode, or if they haven't turned this off yet, is if you do want to get into TikTok or Instagram Reels and you don't want to be the one on your face like, look at me, look at me, look at me, I get it. Then what is that piece of content? Is it a consistent drone footage, a beautiful aerial drone footage that you find that shows the places where you would love to travel to? You don't have to mention it. It's a little fucking motivation, right? It's an aerial view of a drone shot of countries or cities that you want to visit. Put your music over it. Make that, and then have a good message with it. Depending where your music is, if it's ambient and stuff, tell people, hey, before you start your day, listen to this a little bit and watch the scenery. Hope you have a nice, peaceful day. Or it could be another video that you find that's actually really funny, and then you put your hard techno music over it. And it's an entertaining piece of content where you don't need to be the face of it. But then, then the excuse is, gee, well, I don't have time, blah, blah. There's, what is it going to be, right? A lot of them, it could be, well, do nothing. And I also do have a few tips on like, okay, well, if you don't want to do that, there is another approach. It is slower, but it is another approach. And like what happens, because I actually do know people like artists, touring artists, and they're coming up that are using this approach. I call it, they use the PR and promo approach. It's a very back end internal style marketing where like you actually get your tracks in front of big artists through a promo pool.
Yeah, of course.
That kind of growth is so slow. And just because Charlotte DeWitt, Emily Lenz, all these big artists, they get your music and they play it, they're not promoting you. They may play your track and you may be able to capture it and like, okay, you post it. Great. Everyone claps. Great. Your track was played by Emily Lenz. What does that translate to in terms of more plays on your SoundCloud? What does that translate to into gigs? Into that? And really, that's how you're only going to promote your music, is a big DJ plays at Tomorrowland and you capture it and like you post it. That's the only time that you're going to boast about your music and promote it. Be my guest, because what happens is that they're just complaining. You see, that's why I don't do Instagram, social media. You see how stupid they all look, but hey, dude, or sis, they're touring. They're literally doing the things that you said you wanted to do. They're making music, releasing it, and they're on tour and they have all these things and they're doing XYZ, which is a pathway. And I'm here to tell you that you can find your own approach. You don't have to get cheesy and stupid. And somewhat, dude, there's still that resistance within it. I don't understand it. And I don't even know if this episode is going to help people overcome their own burden and fear. I feel like we're just kind of ranting on the ranters at this point.
Well, look, one thing I could say though is it's definitely super important to promote yourself. People need to know you have a product to offer. That's just true across the board with anything you want to do in life. Even if you give massages, I don't care. Whatever it is, people need to know that you have a service to offer or that you have a product to offer. And there's a way to humbly brag in a sense. You know, someone plays your track, it's great. You're getting support from these artists. I feel like prior to Reels and all that, when I had a lot of artists playing my music, the more I posted that, the more gigs I saw internationally because I would get on their bookers' minds like, oh, who's this up and comer? But there's a humble way to do it, and you mix everything. One time it's that. One time it's me in the studio. Look at the track I'm making. One time it's at a show. One time it's at my opening. One time it's at a closing. But there's a humble way. It's not like, oh, look at me. You know, it's all how you word things. You come off genuine and you say, so happy to see this. Wanted to share the experience with you. That is a humble way to say something.
Right. And a lot of times people are like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to post. Then don't. There's a different angle and approach. Enroll in phase 2 and we'll tell you how. No, but I'm being serious. And then look, let's end this video. I have 2 things that I want to like get everyone to just come to the whole like mindset of it. Number 1, once you open your app, right? You said treat this like your career. Treat your artist journey like a business, right? Because you are trying to make money off of this, or at least build a career out of it. Mm-hmm. If we open up our app right now and see Chipotle, okay, or Jimmy John's, advertiser stuff like, hey, come grab a sandwich. We got the best sandwich. Do we go, gosh, what an annoying piece of shit. How dare you promote your product to me? No, it's not. It's what they do. It's Chipotle. Think Chipotle cares? So yeah, put yourself in Chipotle's mindset. What are you promoting? What are you pushing out? Be Chipotle.
Yeah, no, but you're totally right.
Number two, no matter what you fucking do, you do the super cool Uber, like, oh, you're so cool techno, or you're super out there, super cheesy. Guaranteed you will have haters. Guaranteed. Yes. You will never please anyone. And what we're going to do nothing, because what doing nothing does hurts you in the end. It hurts nobody. You doing nothing, like, fuck it, I don't want to play that game. Okay, fine. Don't play it. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt Kevin. It doesn't hurt you, Gino. Aatrox.
But look, you want to make sure you have haters. Because if you don't have haters, then you're not making a mark.
They'll come naturally with growth. Let's not get into like you want haters and you want to produce more. No. The natural growth of who you are as a person, you will have haters just in your own circle. You'll be like, dude, why is this friend being all weird? All of a sudden I got this promotion, or, you know, I told him or her that I got. They come all the time. They're in your lives already. You may not know them. They're disguised in different ways and in different tones. So they're already there. A lot of times they just don't have the strength to tell you.
Just remember one thing. Haters hate success. Remember that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. All right. So hopefully we've done our part in terms of helping you overcome the burden and fear of promoting yourself in whatever you do. I know this is an artist map video, but in whatever you do, be proud of what you're promoting, and, you know, make sure it's good quality. That's one thing too. If it's shit and you're promoting it proudly, like if Chipotle had a shitty burrito and they're promoting it, it looks like crap, then I'll be pissed. Like, dude, what the fuck is this? But if the music is good and the product is good and the content is good, be proud of it. Just like how Chipotle is proud of promoting their burrito.
Jerry likes Chipotle.
You can have that for lunch.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's nothing else that you guys want to add about Chipotle. We're going to end this video call right here. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and thank you for actually hearing us rant, because this is something I do like to reverse rant on the ranters about this. Right? I am Gia. We have Gino Aatrox, Kevin SVS. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment below, and enroll into our courses. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Bye. Bye, guys.